In Hosea, God is not insensitive to the lives of the people. God cares for the people, especially at this point in their history where they are lost and confused. Remember that the historical situation of Israel at this particular moment is very tense. So the people of Israel are lost and confused. In Hosea, we see a God who is very concerned with the people. We see more a tender God. Hosea himself is so in love with God. There is an emotional bonding between Hosea and God. Hosea also sees a bonding between the people of Israel and God. And this bonding, this union, is symbolized by marriage. Idolatry is adultery. There is a marriage between the nation of Israel and God. What can betray this marriage? It is idolatry. Hosea sympathizes with God and also with the people. Even in his own personal life, Hosea reenacts the drama between God and Israel. In the personal life of Hosea, we read that he marries Gomer. The relationship is a passionate relationship. It is a passionate love. But Gomer is unfaithful. She runs after other lovers. And as we will read in the book, other lovers are Baal divinities. Gomer gets involved in idolatry. So she also symbolically represents the adultery of the people of Israel. Hosea has to give up Gomer legally, but then the Lord God tells Hosea to take her back again. In the personal life of Hosea, we see the whole relationship God-Israel reenacted. Hosea has a complaint towards the people of Israel. His main complaint is that the people do not know God. This word know has basic meanings in the Bible. Biblically, to know is characterized by to perceive, to feel, to notice, to recognize, to have an experience of. To know someone implies intimacy with that person, a very close intimacy with that person. There are passages in the Bible where we read that to know somebody also involves sexual union. So there is such a strong sense of intimacy in the word to know. When it comes to knowing God, to know God is to recognize the authority of God. It is to recognize God's will and the willingness to obey God's will. Why this obedience? Well, because God Himself knows His people. God has engaged Himself personally with the people. He was involved personally with the people. This was, for example, in Egypt. The people were crying out to God, and God knew the misery of the people. So the knowledge of God towards the people was a knowledge that was marked by concern and sympathy. Knowledge then has a meaning that is not just limited to intellectual knowledge. There is also an emotional content in knowledge. There is also the intimacy, the attachment and dedication that is within the meaning of to know. God has been dedicated to His people. God has been attached to His people. God knows His people. And so the people should know God also. The people should have an intimacy with God. The people are invited to be like God, to know. If God knows the people, then the people should know God. So it is a kind of mutual feeling for each other, God and Israel. Now in Hosea, there is a call for solidarity between God and people. The people have lost their sense of solidarity with God. And Hosea associates this failure of solidarity with God as the lack of knowledge. The people are ruined because of their lack of knowledge of God, because of their failure to get involved intimately with the Lord God. So for Hosea, there is a call to the people to come back to the Lord. Come back to the Lord. It is a very strong emotional call for the people.